here's a good before you close. Here's a good question for you. Out of the CONCACAF teams that were in this tournament, how many of them does Agyemang start for?
All right, let's do this rapid fire. He does not start for Costa Rica, does not start for Mexico, does not start for Suriname. I don't think he starts for Dominican Republic. I do not think he starts for the Dominican Republic.
He doesn't start for Haiti also. I watched that game.
No, Duckins, Dazone, and Pirot are clear of Patrick
I think he
Agyemang.
starts for Trinidad. Guadeloupe, Trinidad.
Dude, no. Guadeloupe have that guy like Thierry Ambroise. He's clear of Patrick Agyemang, dude. Absolutely not.
True. So
benched
maybe
on,
only Trinidad.
benched on Guadeloupe.
Maybe only Trinidad. Maybe El Salvador. Maybe El Salvador and Trinidad. That's it.
Oh, yeah. He starts for El Salvador. He starts for El Salvador.
He would start for two teams, which are two of the worst teams in the tournament.
And he's going 10 mil to Derby County? See, okay, dude, I feel conflicted about this because I'm sure he's a nice guy, and I feel bad like talking about him this much, but it's kind of like the Charlie Rodriguez complex with Mexico where it's like he's just in the national team so much that we're like forced to talk about him because he's playing every game. So we don't want to talk about him, but he's the starting center mid or the starting striker in this case.
It's interesting that you bring this up because then people go, "You guys don't you guys get tired of hating on him?" It's like, listen, the moment he's not called up, you guys probably won't hear us talk about it. Like, for example, we had this problem when Sebastian Lletget was getting called in all the time. That we were like, we don't want this guy anymore. We can't deal with it. He's slow. Just pass it back. He sucks. No one talks about him anymore.
I haven't heard that name mentioned in a long
Exactly.
time.
So it's what you were saying about Charlie Rodriguez. Like, we're talking a lot about Agyemang because he's started every game this summer. So we're just like, what else do? We cover this team. How are we not going to talk about him? Right?
Yeah.
We want to not talk about him. Don't call him up for September. No one's talking about him. No one cares. But like I saw Max Bretos. He's even a friend of mine. He put on X yesterday. He was like, you guys talk about Agyemang so much. You should probably ask him out on a date. It's like, dude, we just had how many games this summer?
6.
3, 6 plus 2, 8. I think out of the 8, he started 7 on the team that I cover. What do you want me to do? Mm-hmm. He played like 600 minutes out of the 810 available. He played 600 and something. What do you want me to do? Ignore his existence?
Treat him like Voldemort, like he who must not be named. Just be like that guy up top.
But the problem is Voldemort has his freaking wand in my face, like threatening to kill me.
Yeah. Just mowing down your friends left and right. Yeah, eventually you got to say his name. Yeah, it's an interesting situation we're in. It's like what footy content creators. It's like, okay, I don't want to be mean, but you really suck, and you're playing for my team. So like, what do I do? You got to do. You got to give me something positive, and then I'll say it on the pod. It's like I'm not trying to be mean. He's just like you said. He's just standing there on my TV screen, game in and game out. I have to talk about him.
But Jack, also the other issue is that when he scored that game winner against Haiti, which again it's Haiti, he put like a snarky tweet like this, right? Just kind of like, "What's up? I just won the game." What happens when you do that? Like if you're Cristiano Ronaldo, you can do that and shush everyone because you're Ronaldo. The moment Agyemang did that, it was like literally the time that he had to win over the fans. Like, you just scored, so hey, let's maybe cut him some slack. He just scored. He pissed everyone off. It's like, dude, you're not Messi or Ronaldo. Well, Messi doesn't do that, but Neymar or Ronaldo can do that. Score and shush you. It's like, you're criticizing me, but I'll freaking win you a game. Then Agyemang did that. And then he sucked against Costa Rica, sucked against Guatemala, and sucked against Mexico. That was his chance to win over the fan base. And he screwed it over.
Like when like a fat girl like posts a picture of her on her story eating a salad and we're like, none of us are fooled?
Yeah, I don't know what he was trying to do there. It was the perfect moment for him, like, hey, I scored. It's like, let's do this, guys. Counting on the fans. Just like be supportive so the fans are like, soften us up, right? Like make us like get like, hey, this is a nice guy and he just wants the game. Let's take it easy on him. The moment he did that, everyone got pissed. And then it was over. Everyone's coming after the guy mainly because of that. It's like, dude, you're not good enough to be a dick. That's the thing, right? And fans are going to criticize. They're going to be irrational. We talked about how Palmeiras wins everything, and then they lose to Chelsea with a larger budget, and the fans want the coach fired right now. And then Agyemang did self-inflicted damage when he tweeted that out, and I don't know why he did that, because now he's gone silent, right? He can't say anything.
I'm
He
sure.
had a terrible Gold Cup. Like Jesus Ferreira, that we so much criticized, he scored 7 goals in that Gold Cup.
I think Ferreira is a better player.
Oh, he's way better. Way better.
Yeah.
He scored 7 and no one won him. Agyemang scored 2 goals, but actually scored one, because one of the goals was the one that Luna shot, and Agyemang was like trying to get out of the ball, and it kind of hit him and went in. It was like Zarda's goal. He scored 1 goal against Haiti. That was it. The whole Gold Cup. Jesus had 7 in that edition, and Agyemang had an extra game because Jesus lost in the semis. So if you're that bad, you can't be a dick also.
So you gotta. I think it's called self-awareness. Is what that's called. It's like
Something
I'm
he
not that
definitely
good at my
doesn't.
job, so I probably shouldn't be walking through the office with like a super tight muscle shirt with my chest out, like knocking my manager out of the way as I go for my third cup of coffee. I should
Did
probably
you
just keep a low
see?
profile.
Did you see what his agent posted?
No,
Do you
he
want
is
me
an
to bring this
agent.
up?
Sure.
All right,
This
let's
is
put
Patrick
this on screen. I
Agyemang.
think this is great content. This is great
Okay,
content.
all right.
So let me put this on screen for you, and this you're gonna have fun with this.
The title is going to be DeadBall TV and Tattoo Manager bully Patrick Agyemang after
There
Gold
you
Cup
go.
failure.
There you go. So CAA Stellar Soccer is the agency. I think they're definitely from Ajiman, and it looks like they're also from Arfston. So February 12th, USMNT Trev posted this. One of the things I wanted to do when I reached 5,000 followers was going to donating $1 per 100 followers to a mental health charity in the US. Mental health is an area I'm very passionate about because it's so important for our well-being, and it's looking like whatever. Like, I know Trev. I've met him in Charlotte before in the game, and I've talked to him before in DMs. Went on his podcast. Very nice guy. He's a very nice guy. Critical of the team and also hypes the team. Just a fan, right? And what he's doing there is a nice gesture. I would always be supportive of someone doing that. Anyone that supports charity, I would help them. I would support them. And then this was in February 12th. Now July 2nd, Ajiman's agent, do you think the mental health of Ajiman and Arfston is affected by your negative tweets? It's like, brother, are you serious? What are the negative tweets? Calling a spade is a negative tweet, saying you're
Mm.
not a good player. If you can't handle USMNT Twitter, good luck in Europe.
This is just highlighting the sports culture here. It's just the problem with American sports culture, where it's like everybody wants you to put on a filter essentially and only have nice things to say. But guess what? That's not how the real world works. This is not like it's like the moms that try to raise their kid in a bubble. It's like, well, I don't want him to experience bullying. I don't want him to experience failures. Like, tough shit. Welcome. This is what everybody else has to deal with every day. I get shit on my Twitter. I know you do.
Mine is pretty
Like,
bad. Mine is worse than
Yours, yours
Ajiman.
is yours is worse than
Worse than
it's
Ajiman.
definitely worse than mine. Probably worse than Agyemang's too. Is like where are the mental health tweets about Filippo? I haven't seen those. I haven't seen the
I,
guys. I think were dragging him down. I don't
I
know.
had a
It's
guy
just like
make a video calling me Twitter ISIS. There's a whole video.
oh, to be fair, that's pretty funny though. That's pretty
It's
funny.
like a 10-minute video of the guy just shitting on me for 10 minutes, and I'm like, good for him. Keep using freedom of speech. It's
Yeah,
one of those where it's like, unless you are being abusive or it's like blatant racism or you're
correct.
personally attacking the player, if you're criticizing his game, go for it. Just go for it. Now, obviously, keep racism out of it. Don't personally attack. Don't go after his family members or
Of course.
girlfriend. Stay out of
Yeah.
that. But even like
At least he
one
has a
thing
girlfriend, unlike most of the people who are probably hating on him.
that is true, also. But they also like were they gave him a nickname of like Bambi because he looked like baby Bambi from the movie. So
Mm,
it's not like it wasn't even me, by the way. I got accused of giving him that nickname. It wasn't me. You can look through the streams. It was the Straight Red Card, friend of ours, very funny guys. But it was a harmless joke. They're just like, watch Bambi when it's a baby Bambi and he couldn't walk. That's Ajiman because he's falling. And apparently that was like, oh my goodness, that's like super offensive. It's like, guys, we're destroying humor. Let's have some fun with it. And in
mhm.
terms of Ajiman, Play your game, dude. If you play well, they're gonna like hype you up. If you play like shit, they're gonna criticize you. And just also, you can just not go on Twitter. You won't see any of this. This noise doesn't exist.
It's also like if you want to, the reality of the situation is Agyemang is living the dream of most people, representing his country, playing these games, not even playing well, and not even being punished for it in terms of his minutes. So he's actually even better than people's wildest dreams because most players get benched if they don't play well. And like this has brought him money, this has brought him fame. He deserves all of that. But you cannot have the good without the bad. I don't care what it is. If you're a musician, you drop an album, whatever won album of the year last year, I don't know what it was. I guarantee you, a million people in our country alone said this is the shittiest album I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean,
People,
look at YouTube. Like, we can't post a video with our opinions and not expect any backlash. Like, there's
right?
gonna be some very mean and nasty comments. I mean, I
Yeah.
look at some. I'm not even gonna get into the really bad ones that I've gotten. Let's just go through some that I've got the past few weeks. One guy accused me of not watching USMNT games. I literally have live streams watching them.
Those are my favorite tweets,
I was
dude.
like,
Those are my
dude,
favorite
if there's,
tweets.
I'm one of the few that has actually hard evidence that I'm watching it,
It's like
right?
you're commenting this in my live chat during a watch along. Like, how could you reach this conclusion?
And the other one was saying that you hate the U.S. men's national team and you want them to lose. So this is what I said to the guy. I was like, listen,
Mm,
even if you believe that I don't want this team to win as a fan, ignore the fandom. Let's say I can't convince you that I'm a fan, okay? Because that's just going to be me saying I love this team, and you're going to be saying no, you don't. All right, let's look at the business aspect of this. YouTube. Let's just say this is just a business. Do I make more money if the US plays more games or less games?
more games, clearly.
So I'm a complete imbecile then if I want this team to lose, right? Because as a fan, I lose. As a content creator, I lose. The hell do I gain when they lose? Like, I don't gain
Mm-hmm.
anything. I only lose. So
Mm-hmm.
you hear like these nonsense comments, and I don't get it. And then apparently, if you criticize a player or they make up a nickname for the player, the mental health of this professional athlete, which they're supposed to be way more mentally stronger than myself and even yourself, and they're crying about it. It's affecting their mental health. It's like you're getting paid a lot of money to play soccer, and okay, a few guys called you a baby Bambi because you can't stay on your feet, and that's like destabilizing you. That's why you're sucking. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. And best of luck to him in the EFL Championship because the fans are not going to be kind there.
Yeah. That's the thing. I don't actively want these players to fail. Like, I'm not a USA fan. I don't really care about Patrick Agyemang. I'm thankful that he played in the final because he had one really good chance that he scuffed in the second half. But like Jorge Sanchez is an example on the Mexican side where I'm like, he's my least favorite player I've ever seen for the Selección. Either him or Chaka Rodriguez, who, if you remember, he like clawed Giorena's face, I think, in a qual like
The right back. The
absolute
right back.
scumbag, dude. I don't really wish these guys to fail. I don't want their careers to end. I don't want them to get injured. Just stop playing for the national team. Like, get off of my screen. So none of this, to close the loop, no one's wishing death upon these people. And if you are, you're fucked up and you should probably get some help. But that's not what we're doing by saying like Agyemang isn't a good finisher. That's not the same as like hate speech or, of course, racism, anything like that. That's crazy. You've
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
what's
but
yours
it's
too.
not like USMNT Trev. I know him and I followed him. He's not one of those, and that's who the
Right.
agent was going after,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just kind of like, and also going after it on a positive like mental health post. That's what you choose to go after. Why don't you go pick on like a post where he's criticizing Ajiman and saying, hey, you took this too far. You know why he doesn't do that with Trev? Because there is none. There's no post that it's like, oh, you took it too far on this one.
Yeah. No one's like, oh, his nose is too big.
Or
At least
maybe,
that's
or
not like
maybe,
what I'm
yeah, or
seeing.
maybe don't pick on Trev. Pick on my account that's bigger, and then see what bullying is after, right? So
Yeah.
it's just the way these people operate, and it's quite embarrassing. I've had interactions with agents. I had an agent. I can't even say it. I don't remember his name anymore, but it was Matthew Hoppy's agent. He created a burner account and called me a dildo. Don't ask me
Just
how we found.
creating a burner account is so like beta male
And they
behavior,
found
man.
out, but like the fans found out it was him just based off the interactions and how he wrote. Like they found out, and he had to like delete the account. It's not the
That's
same agent,
just
but it was
so
the agent.
soft. Like you can't even stand on your own hate. You have to go make an anonymous burner account. I have no respect for that at all.
I
That is so
wonder.
cowardly.
I wonder how many of like negative comments I get, you get, how many of them could be like burners of the players or family members? Because it could be like for the most part, we just don't know.
Yeah, and guess what? When we get them, like I read a hate comment, I'm like, hmm. Sometimes I'm like, damn, okay, that's a good point. Like I probably should have, thought about it differently. But most of the time I'm like, oh, this person's an idiot, and then I just move on. It's not like my day is ruined. I just
Most of the
if you're
time it's an idiotic comment, and then there's because there's two different types of replies. There's in this sense of criticism, there's like straight up hate reply where they're just like calling you stupid or something, and there's someone disagreeing. When they disagree and they elaborate their points, there are
totally fair.
times where I read it, I'm like, he does have a point. Like
Yeah.
maybe I overreacted to this, maybe this was wrong, but
I actually like
usually,
those comments.
yeah, those are
I'm like,
good.
oh, okay.
But but also I don't like any hate comment or Twitter ISIS video you make. It doesn't affect my mental health. I have my own life and I'm happy with my life. And it doesn't matter what someone says online. It's not going to affect my mental health. And it shouldn't affect the player as well.
Right. But it seems like you're aware of the social contract that we have as public figures. If you want to enter the public domain, you cannot control what's said about you. If you don't want things to be said about you, don't enter the public domain.
Yeah, go do
You
something else.
become a faceless YouTuber and just have an AI voiceover on your
Or
videos. Nobody will know what you look like.
but then also I was gonna say, then go become an accountant. But then there's other responsibilities that come with that and other types
Yeah.
of criticism that'll
Yeah.
come from
And guess what?
clients.
You will get fired if you're not good at your job as an accountant.
There you go, consequences. Which is probably worse than
Consequences.
someone pooping on you on Twitter.
Probably. And you're probably not getting paid as well either in most cases.
Yeah, but again, they have it rough.
What do we know? We're just haters.